Hey everybody, Radamon here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 58 of Oxygen Not Included. A little reminder that this episode is pre-recorded, and as such, I am not able to incorporate feedback from you guys in real time. I just want to let you all know that. So, I made a grave mistake, and I wanted to, tell you what the grave mistake was. The grave mistake is that solar power panels count as heavy machinery, and I forgot about this fact. Which means that the scan quality that I have for this space scanner is ruined. There is not a lot of easy ways to fix this. I think the solution I'm going to do is to essentially raise the height of my observatory checkpoint up a lot higher. Which is something I really don't want to have to do, but I suppose it's just how it's going to be. So, while we work on setting up the coolant line, because most of the coolant line is still fine to build. While we set up most of the coolant line, I am going to work towards raising up the vertical height of this mining, scanning, cleaning, checkpoint, etc. I'm also just going to allow for the space scanner to have a ruined scan quality on the right here, while absorbing all of this beautiful solar energy, where the left scanner here, I won't make the solar power panels just yet, to keep my scan qualities not ruined. So that also means I'm going to want to make my scanners, so here's the scanners that need to be far away from stuff. I need to make them 14 tiles away from my solar power panels. So let's say we keep the solar power panels where they are. The scanners have to go up here, which means that there is a 7 high difference of even further. So I'll go up 10. So basically, my bunker tiles, I'm going to want to put a new row of bunkers, something like this. Yep, that is exactly as annoying as it seems to you. It is to me. Alright, and then on the sides here, we'll have bunker tiles once the autosave is done. Bunker tiles out like this. And obviously I'm going to need to make some more steel. I'm going to be able to redeem a whole lot of steel from the construction projects that I already have down, but I don't want gaps in my bunker doors, so I need to build the top ones first, and then I'll do these. It doesn't really matter if these open or not, because I can construct everything underneath it, whether they open or not. I just won't be able to get the solar. So the forge now, I'm going to disable for the moment, because I don't really need the glass. So I'll just turn it off, and I can pick up this molten glass once I have my checkpoint higher. I still do want to work on the coolant line, because there's a lot of work to be done there. So let me get this plugged in, and we'll work on building all of the plumbing for the coolant line. Most of that I already have laid out. It's just, you know, giving my dupes time to build it. Ooh, good hit. Threaded the needle there. Now, eventually I'm not going to have gaps in my coverage like this. Another thing I'm going to want to do is, if I do want to have a space mission, I'm going to want bunker tiles to go out pretty far like this, so that I can build my space rockets here. So we'll go out this far. And then we'll have the same sort of gap like that. There we are. So I don't have enough steel made yet. Yeah, so my scan quality, as you can see, has tanked as a result of these solar power panels. But hey, I have a plan to fix it. Alright, so now let's get cranking out on steel. I think the volcano taming really taken a back door, and I apologize for that. It's just so much else is required. Now, the volcano taming, the reason why I'm not focusing on it is it's really not all that necessary for me to have at this moment. I'm not running out of gold or whatever. I actually don't know. I think the only volcanoes I have are gold ones. So I'm not really running out of gold, so it's really not all that necessary to tame a gold, the volcano for gold. As you can see, my plumbing kind of filled up. And I need to make a little bit of space for this to cycle. Because there is some food poisoning that was caught in the pipes. I shouldn't let this fill up like this, but whatever. It was never voted that I fixed that project, so I'm going to ignore it for now. As far as priorities go, let's raise the construction priority of this giant new bunker door system. And I apologize for making this mistake, but hey, we have to live with our mistakes, and I will fix it now. All right, my water is almost fully pure. Okay, it's fully purified, so let's dump it. No docks available. Wait, what is going on here? Is someone taking a shortcut? Why do I have suits delivered? I'm not really sure why. So this telescope here has scanned the temporal tear, which going there is one of the win conditions of Oxygen Not Included, and also the series. It also means that the telescope is not really needed anymore. I'm trying to figure out how clearance vacancy, how we ended up with suits here that couldn't be racked, because that doesn't seem possible to me. So we are obviously going to be cutting the solar power to these panels because we are moving our bunker doors up, and as a result, this will block the light eventually. All right, new printables. Some refined copper, nice. Yeah, so here's one that went idle as a result, and that's to be expected. So, steel. So far, the oil... Oh yeah, it's coming down hot. Cool. And this solar power panel is mostly blocked. At this point, I can demolish some of the inner bunkers, because they're not really protecting anything anymore. And this also means breaking down literally everything. The whole checkpoint. Ugh, I shudder. But it's just the way it is. Alright, if I prioritize it and I have a lot of dupes on it, it shouldn't be that painful. And then set up construction. Let's set these up to 7s, just below the construction of the other ones that are 8s. And then it will look something like this. So instead of the mesh tiles, what we're going to do is mechanized airlocks to prevent the regolith from falling. But I need more steel, because I'd like steel mechanized airlocks so they don't overheat and blow up. So I need to wait until I reclaim some of these bunkered doors. So at the moment, we are sort of walling ourselves off from space until I have all the automation and everything installed, and then we can start to trigger these bunker doors to open back up and whatnot. All right. So we have one person beyond the gate, and okay, yep, that looks right. The other issue is we're going to be using a lot of petroleum to jetpack construct, so it's another thing I need to keep an eye on this liquid reservoir, making sure it's topped up, meaning that I need to pump some oil into our refinery. Cool. Sorry, Aqua Tuner and Nullifier, you are now a low priority task. So we almost have our steel perimeter built, which is great. And then once I start to have a surplus of steel, which I currently do not, once I have a surplus of steel, we can start to install everything else. Alright, work errand for steel. We are using a lot of steel up. I'm just making sure that the raw materials needed for steel are being supplied perfectly, and they seem to be so far. Okay, so this side is built and secured. Because I want to lay everything else out, I'm going to make this a construction priority, just so I can reclaim some steel out of these bunker doors, and then we'll eventually break down the meshes, and we'll break down the robo-miners and everything. And unfortunately, really everything else that we built here, ugh, I just don't like that. But it's not my choice, just the way it is. I did not verify that it was going to be okay to build where I did. Alright, so now we definitely have a little abundance of steel, and I'm going to be building mechanized airlocks instead of mesh tile roofing. So something like this. And then I don't know if I want to wholesale. Yeah, let's start to break this stuff down. Because then underneath, what this is going to look like is this will be still mesh. And we're out of material again. So let me do it in smaller batches. And then we will have temp shift plates. And now I'm out of temp shift plates. Yes, this is quite the project. Understandably. Alright, so let's destroy all the automation cables. I'll go to the automation wire layer and get that broken down. And then for automation, we are going to have a NOT gate. I'm going to set the NOT gate here. Because we don't want the output of the NOT gate to interfere with the doors. And then that means an automation wire running to each and every one of these doors. Done. And as we break down these objects, these scanners and the like, we'll be able to reclaim their materials. But we're gonna have to break down everything. Everything must go. I know, it's terrible. I'm gonna leave the I'm leaving the mesh for last. In fact, I don't necessarily need to get rid of this mesh. It's not necessary. It's not a lot of material that we need to be reclaimed, but it might be a wise idea. Alright. So now we have the entire border perimeter bunker thing built, so we can't suffer any strikes. As you can see, these bunker doors haven't been heated up yet. They're still nice and cool. Temperature of their construction materials. But now, construction, let's say 7. It is time to start replacing all the things that I have to replace. The one positive from this is it will make my rocket construction a little bit easier. there is a hidden benefit from this, let's call it suffering. There's a hidden benefit from this suffering, which is rocket construction will be a little bit nicer. Because we have a nice big space here for it. And if it needs to go up higher, I can always have it go up higher. I can't really go lower because of this storage stuff. And it looks also like my regolith is... Oh yeah, these bins are full. Fully full. I don't care that much. Alright, so as we break these down, we'll be able to repurpose the materials for up top. Meaning that I can queue up robo-miners and queue up the fire pole and, you know, everything that we're gonna need. Oh boy. And then as we break down the temp shift plates, we reclaim the diamond. And what I'm going to do is all of the construction with steel is going to be the highest priority so that my guys aren't taking the steel back down to storage. They're just repurposing it immediately into construction. That's probably the fastest way to do this. So this is going to look something like a mesh tile all the way out to here. Oh, that was copper. And this ladder will help, and the fire pole will help. Because these suits are awesome. You don't need flooring, but they definitely help. It's definitely going to be ideal to have flooring. So this mesh tile goes all the way out to the edge. Oops, still don't have steel. Now let's make sure that our steel refinery is, what is that, 3? Our steel refinery is, what is it waiting on? Nothing? It's saying it's waiting for materials. Iron? I have plenty of iron, so yeah, it was iron, but I had it. It just needed to be delivered. The mechanized airlocks will stop the robo-miners from being entombed, but then once the material up top gets mined out, it will allow the mined out material to drop and be swept by sweepies. So that's what's going on there. Okay, we have a lot of stuff to break down. I'm going to break down the scanners and the robo-miners first because they are pretty dense, steel-dense objects that I'll be able to repurpose their material quickly. All right. It also means that I'm going to need to run my steel conductive wires up a little bit higher. And then split the grid as well as I am able. It's going to be a little complicated to split the grid. In fact, I might want to split it... how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Auto saving. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I have more doors than what a conductive wire can handle. And as you can see, you can't have heavy watt power these up. So I might actually need a third pair of transformers. I might. I haven't decided that yet, and I'm not sure yet, but that might be required. So let's try to... So this will go 50, roughly 50 tiles. So I've just I've split these in half by basically the length of cable and nothing else. So as you can see, this is a 45 length cable, and I think the other one's a 45 length cable as well. And that's pretty much how I'm measuring power usage here. Yep, 45 length cable. So these are now symmetrical and even. That's all I really needed to know. So all of these, all the cable that I have laid out should be steel. Yep, they're all steel. And let's get those constructed too. Why are you going through the door? Oh my god, just go around. I'm gonna lock these so that our our duplicants aren't taking super pointless detours. There we go. I'll make sure not to build the doors until last so that that isn't an issue. Alright, so here's the lovely cabling. That also means that I'm going to want to run cable out to each side. So that's one side, and this is another. And let's set this up as a 9. So we get that done soon as well. Just so that I can start to power up the doors once I have my scanners in place. It's going to be a minute before I have the scanners in place, but... Alright, and then we were spacing these every third tile for the miners. I don't have the steel to queue this up right now. I'm just making sure my conductive wires are made of steel. Okay, they are. Good. We still have a lot to break down here. But my new construction definitely requires more steel, so we're going to need to refine a bit more of it as well. All of those new bunker doors cost a lot. Alright, I'm going to raise the priority of this metal refinery up so we just get more metal out of it. This is mostly just the fact that it wasn't high priority. Alright, looking good. So there's automation wires and power wires in here now. And we just need the scanners, and then we'll be able to open and close these at will. And then utilize all the solar power panel. Again, it's icky that I made this mistake and forgot that solar panels were heavy machinery. But, hey, we're fixing it. I'm going to start to prioritize the deconstruction so that we can reclaim materials that we want to use. I know, priority creep is real. Throwing 9s everywhere. I get it. So something I'm going to want to do is to set up the templates so that they don't haul the diamond away. And that should cut down on commute time as we break it down. Does that mean a diamond? Yeah. And then the last one will be the dock. Would not surprise me if I need more diamond as well, because we're going wider than last time. Something looking like that. So I'll go about this wide. So now you can see that these are powered on. Well, the right side is, the left side isn't yet. But the right side is now powered on, and if I had these scanners, we would be able to automate it, which I don't have yet, but we will get. Let's cancel the sweep and mop orders, as I don't need to stare at them forever. And the shipping can be broken down as well. I think it's really only just like a line or two, yeah. But I can still drop the items to these mesh tiles. It's just going to be a further drop. But that's fine. Alright. Then, let's go ahead with the scanners. Here's the space scanners. And these space scanners, let me make sure that they're far apart now. Far apart from one another, yeah. Plenty of distance between one another. Probably more than I even need. I didn't actually do the math, but I don't think they overlap much. Perfect. So what's going to be important for them is to be powered on, and we are going to split the grid. I'm going to try to split the grid just left and right, like I'm doing. Splitting it right around here, wherever the power is, and see if that works. I hope it does. And it does seem to me like I'm going to need a little bit more iron. Even when I break down this mesh tile, because there's not a lot of mesh tile in that iron. It's all these. It's all the new bunker doors. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new bunker doors or something like that, and that was a lot of steel. Oh, did those pick eggs hatch on their own? Why is this Buddy Bud 2? Really? It's 104 there? Oh yeah, just barely, but it is. I think I was actually going to fix that, right? This planter box with a Wheezewort. Okay, water's still nice and pure. Steel's still getting cranked out. How hot is my oil? It's not that hot. It's not like phase change hot, so that's good. Rise, you have unreachable food. That I don't believe is true. I don't know why it was telling me that, but it was a lie. Alright. The bunker doors are now going to heat up, but I'm not planning on opening them up until everything underneath them is all set for mining and automation and all that. The other issue is that the material that is on this mechanized airlock, so I think this mechanized airlock is just going to be mesh tile because there's nothing underneath it to stop the material on this specific tile from dropping all the way down. So I'm gonna deconstruct here, and we'll just have some debris up here, and I can live with that. That's fine. So, at the very end of this run here... at the very end of this run here, we'll put robo-miners in. So the robo-miner is able to dig out the entire width, as you can see. And I'm going to run out of steel here. So this robo-miner cannot, so I have to end this a little early, and that's fine. So here is where my sweepie is going to go. So we will have something like a conveyor loader. And that's 3 out, so as far as symmetry goes... Yep. Conveyor loader. And then underneath the conveyor loaders, we're also going to need temp shift plates. Seems like I'm out of diamonds, so let's go all the way down and mine up some more diamond. Alright, so there's that node. And here. This stuff up here is not accessible. I can build for it to be accessible, but I'm not going to prioritize it. We'll get there if we get there. Damien, where are you? Where is this telling me Damien? Oh, okay. He's moving around too fast. He has unreachable food? I don't think that's true. Oh, we don't have a suit here for him. So there is a suit delivery that is missing. I don't know why or how it got messed up. But that was why Bryce said he couldn't deliver a suit either. Because there's one suit just straight missing. So I have this as a demanding request, and someone will bring that suit there. Eventually, I hope. I guess I could check in on myself and try to figure out where it's being hung up. So let's go to the clothing tab. There's an Atmos suit in there that could need delivery. Or did we just deliver it? I think we just delivered it. Yeah, okay. We have it delivered now. Perfect. Alright, so another one of the issues is we have a lot of hot regolith here that, honestly, I'm going to need to sweep up. I'm going to need to sweep up because if I don't, it drops onto the tiles underneath it and causes heat where we do not want heat. If I'm to reclaim this mesh tile, which I intend to. because I don't want my plastic tile roofs to become melted in naphtha, and that's wrong. That's bad. All right, as far as construction goes, let's queue this back up. Get that built while we try to clean up all of this this debris here. It does mean that I don't have room for this debris, so I'm gonna have to make room. At this point, I don't know if I want to damage this cold biome to store the hot regolith, because that would obviously be a pretty easy way to do it, is to store it in the cold biome, have the cold biome melt, and have the regolith and mafic that is super hot just, you know, cool off a little bit, so it doesn't generate, it's not a permanent source of heat. But I think for now I'll just store it. Okay, there we go. So that is basically a replica of what I had below, but now these solar power panels won't interfere with the space scanner. I obviously added more space, I think, than I needed to. I needed, what, 14? So I could have done it much lower, but raising it up gives me space for a rocket. So that's why I went so high. Alright, so we'll get all this plugged in. Speaking of plugs, it will be conductive wire. As we said, we were splitting the grid, so and hopefully the split grid will be enough. So we're splitting it here. Oh, I didn't leave in the proper amount of room. My bad. Let me fix that. I did on the other side, but let me fix it over here. It should be like that. Alright, there we are. This will take a lot of work, but I think my duplicates are up for it. And then we also are going to need the automation wire for the scanners. And I just put them in now. Alright, that looks all well and good. I don't think I'm going to put in the conveyor loaders until I have cooling, though. Because we've established that they heat themselves up and destroy themselves before, you know, if I don't have the cooling. This is definitely coming along. So which one of these bins... Alright, this bin has my steel. I knew I was keeping steel locally. So, insulated pipe. Up here. Just the way we had designed before. And then radiant pipes. I'm going to run out of steel, but insulated pipes like that. Or a radiant pipe, sorry. And then insulated pipes feed into the radiant pipes. And we might need 2 lines. I haven't determined this yet. I'll build this initially, and then if it's not enough, I'll figure it out. That's a lot of construction. But I can set these up to 8 as well. They're just as important. Alright. We also, yep, new printables. I was really hoping for steel, but alright, sand. We're waiting on lime for our metal refinery. That is very good to know. That means I need to dig up some fossils. We have a nice pretty clean run to get fossils here. And I'll set the digging priority of this up to 8. And then the construction, I don't seem to need more diamonds, so I'm just going to forget about that for now. Because it's not necessary time-wise. Oh, that's a seed, okay. That wasn't a plant. Yes, sporchids are very pretty, but they're full of nasty brain fungus when they're planted. I don't think I have any active sporchids on the map anywhere. I would, in the germ layer, I'd be able to tell if any of them were planted. I did have one plant that was planted. Where was it? Here it is. No, that's Joya. Here it is, but because it's in carbon dioxide, it's inactive. It's not producing spores. Man, look at all the regolith. Oh, as far as... Oh, wait, why are you opening up? Oh, no, 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 no. Because they were getting a signal? No, you're red. You're red. Oh, God. Well, that's going to be a mess. Okay, it closed in time. Huh. Oh, that was going to be bad. I'm glad I emergency noticed. All right, just keep working. And then the return plumbing for this project. Do I have more steel yet? No, I do not. Oh, but I have plenty of fossils. So the steel that I need is just a matter of breaking down some of these fossils. This is a lot of fossils. I'm just trying to click on them individually so I don't sweep up the stuff that isn't fossils. I think all of this is fossils, though. Alright, and then for priority, let's go to cleaning 9. There we go. We're going to have plenty of lime for our steel. Check the temperature out. So the room itself is very cool. That's good. The output of oil... The oil is not too hot. That's good, too. So I think we're fine. We don't have, like, an overworking abundance of anything. So I can start putting in my radiant pipes again. Well, barely. It's a lot of steel. Now, I think the power here is going to be cut. Just to keep it a little bit more balanced. Because there's more auto miners on the right side than left side. So I'll shift some of these auto miners over to the left to try to balance out the power a little bit better. And at this point, oh, we do have space for more regolith now. I will say that it's not wise to store it here because it's going to cause a huge heat disruption. But I don't really have a better place to put it at the moment, so I'm going to store it here, and then maybe I store it outside in space. In fact, I could store it where these mesh tiles are or something, where, like, it doesn't matter at all. Let's go do that. Let's, let me stop what I just queued up. So, let's set up storage for the regolith. How's that sound? Oops. We can store the regolith here very, very comfortably. And because it's in space, it's not going to heat anything up. I think what I'll do is I will raise my... let me count this again. Okay, I can raise my solar power panels up considerably as well, to give myself a little bit more room. So don't even worry about that. Let's break these panels down. So the idea will be to put my solar power panels as close to the space scanner as possible, and then just have a ton of storage space underneath for regolith. Which means, let's not store any of this right now, because it's hot regolith that's just going to cause heat problems. I don't know why I didn't think of just, like, storing it outdoors to begin with. It's honestly the smarter idea. Alright, so it is 14 tiles. So that's 14 right there. And I'm going to deal with the plastic roofing getting hot, just so that I can set up this new regolith storage. So what this will look like is solar power panels like here, maybe. Yeah, right around along this height. And then if I have solar power panels at this height, it means that I can start doing regolith storage at this height, I think. Let me double check that. Yes. Beautiful, just like that. Let's not do the bottom row. All right, so construction. Build these granite tiles quick, and then put my sweep-only regolith here. For now, I'm actually going to leave these mesh tiles just so that my my plastic roof doesn't get cooked. If I don't ever really need it, I might as well not allow it to heat anything up that's important. Well, this is looking a little bit more complete, but I am going to have to do this next episode, do more of fixing my space dock. So I apologize for the mistake, but hey, it's an honest mistake. Again, a little reminder that I am pre-recording these episodes so that you are not going to be able to respond to them in real time. But thank you so very much for watching. I will catch you next episode. Farewell, everybody.